Hello all my horror fanatics, welcome to Late Night Frights. I'm your host, the Thejslone-Dvd, back here to do a DVD battle for you. Today's date is March 3rd, 2013. And the two films I'm going to be battling for you today are two serial killer films. So yeah, one's fictional, one is not fictional. One was actually a real serial killer, but one of them, you'll know both films, but yeah, one of them's fictional. So let's show the films. First we'll have American Psycho, which is also, which is actually a fictional serial killer film starring Christian Bale. Very good film though. One of my favorites. Definitely in top 20, I would say, slashers or serial killer based film. It's not. It is a slasher, but in a way, it's a biography type. It's not a biography, but it's a narrated serial killer type film. Where you get Pat Bateman, which is Christian Bale's character, who narrates through the film and kind of gives a story about himself. So, American Psycho, awesome film. And then next, I'll be reviewing or battling against this film about the real-life serial killer Henry Lee Lucas, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, starring Michael Rooker. If you've never seen this film, you will know Michael Rooker from the Walking Dead series very briefly. A lot of people say he was in it a lot. Technically, he was in it 3 seasons, but we'll get into that. I'll talk about that on my channel. But Michael Rooker, amazing actor, played the part very well. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. So let's review both of these films, and then we'll do the battle. Battle these films to the death. So first we have the 2000 American Psycho. Like I said, starring Christian Bale. Also has some other good actors in there as well. Reese Witherspoon, who really doesn't do much. She's just kind of there to fill the void of Patrick's love life, which he never even does anything with her. He cheats on her with hookers and makes them pose in weird. I don't know. It's a weird movie. So basically, we're introduced to Patrick Bateman, who he looks like a very clean-cut guy. Got not like a really good job on Wall Street, but we soon learn that Bateman is he's a little bit off in the head. In his spare time, he likes to kill homeless people, and he likes to kill hookers and dismember their bodies and rape them. So yeah, that's basically what he does in his spare time. A lot of really good, memorable scenes in this one. But what I really like about this movie is Christian Bale's acting is spot on. This was based off a book or a novel by Bret Easton Ellis. This is set in the 80s, but it was 2000 film. But Patrick Bateman, definitely one of the best fictional serial killers. Just a very disturbed young man. And it's funny how mad he gets at certain things, like that a normal person shouldn't get mad at. I remember in the scene when they're showing each other their business cards, and that guy shows him his business card, and he's thinking in his head, he's like, oh my god, the thickness, the offbeat coloring on the paper, oh my god, there's a water spot, and he gets so mad he has to walk out of the room. Just a very, very psychotic individual. Funny scene in this one is it's not funny. It's a very scary scene, but he makes it funny, if that's what I can say about that. It's where he kills the one girl, but the one girl escapes. It's hard to explain. One of the hookers escapes and is running down the stairs, and he runs after her naked, wearing nothing but Nike tennis shoes. Yes, Nike tennis shoes. I catch that. I'm like, okay, he's wearing Nike tennis shoes. It's just a little offbeat thing if you see it in there. But Christian Bale, he's devoted 110% to his roles. That's one thing I can say about Christian Bale. He's an amazing actor. This is an amazing movie, and if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. If you're not, it's not terribly, terribly bad. If you're not squeamish towards serial killer films, and a lot of people are, slasher, serial killer. This can be based in 2 different categories here. But most of our fans are not. So, but if you love Christian Bale, definitely check this one out as well. Very good film. Can't say enough good things about this one. American Psycho. Next, and I've already talked 5 minutes about American Psycho. Okay, so let's review Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, which is based off the real-life actual serial killer Henry Lee Lucas. Now, first of all, let me start off by saying this guy was a psychopath, and he got death. Yeah, I think he died. I think he did get death, which he deserved it. And I'll talk about some of the crimes he committed in this film, which were mainly spot on. I'm sure they had to change a few things up. But basically, was in the 80s or 90s or 70s. That's something I should have probably looked up before I did this review. Now, the serial killer, the actual real-life Henry Lee Lucas, was a traveling serial killer, sort of like Ted Bundy in a way. He killed women, and I think he killed women, men. I think he only killed women. I'm not sure. No, he killed men too. I'm sorry. He killed women and men. And when they caught him, he confessed to over 100 murders. Only 30 of them, I think. I could be wrong completely, but I think 30 or 40 of them were only confirmed. But he gave them like 100 murders. Actually, gave them every bit of detail. But basically, the film is about him, and it's about when he met Otis, which was his very weird. Otis was his in actual life. Otis and him went on serial killing sprees together. Otis was his bisexual lover, all kinds of weird stuff, which they don't touch on in this movie, which is good. I'm not homophobic like that or anything. I'm not saying I hate bisexual people, but I don't like seeing that in movies. But they didn't touch on that in this movie. But we do get to meet Otis and get to see how fucked up basically Henry actually was. The most chilling thing about this movie is the scenes. Say for instance, a death scene when Henry Lee Lucas has spotted his victim and he goes for the kill. It'll show him going there, and then it'll skip to showing him afterwards. It won't show it taking place in the moment until it shows him afterwards when he's somewhere else. And then after you see him, and he's kind of thinking about what happened, it goes back and it kind of scans over these bodies. It doesn't show a scene of exactly what happened, but it scans over these bodies, and you can hear what's happening, and it's very creepy in a very, very creepy way. But a lot of weird stuff in this movie. I know Henry Lee Lucas or Michael Rooker says one line in this movie. He's trying to get Otis to kill somebody. I think is what it was. And Otis is like, I don't know about this, and sorry, I just got a little text, but he's like, I don't know about this, and he's like, why do you kill people, Henry? And he says, when you're hungry. He says, well, that's the same way that's the same feeling I get when I kill. I'm hungry I want to go kill somebody. Just a lot of psychotic stuff in here, but overall, a good. I don't know if you call it a biography about a serial killer, but a good movie. Michael Rooker really plays the part well. I love Michael Rooker as an actor, even though he's, obviously he's not at all like his character. But I don't know how he prepped up for this film. This film was made in 1990, so overall a good movie. The only thing I don't like about serial killer movies, the only thing I don't like about serial killer movies is they try to make you feel sympathy for the serial killers, and not in all serial killer movies, but in some of them. Like this one, towards the end, they try to make you feel sympathy for him, and kind of hate on Otis, which they were both serial killers. But I'm not going to feel sympathy for this guy. You know what I mean? All the crimes he committed, I'm not going to feel sympathy for him. I don't want to feel sympathy for him, and that's not going to happen. So that's one thing I can say. If you make a serial killer movie, just don't try to get us to feel sympathy. That's kind of offending to try to make somebody feel sympathy for a serial killer who actually committed these crimes. That's one thing that this one didn't do. They didn't try to make you feel sympathy for the serial killer. But anyways, nevertheless, a good film, good horror film. Well, 9 minutes in, I haven't even started the battle, guys. It's been an in-depth review. Hopefully you like this. So let's go ahead and battle these two films to the death. Okay, I have my 4 steps, I think it is, written down here. Sorry, I have it on my iPad. Let me get on my 4 steps. Okay, round 1. Body count. Which one of these films had a higher body count? Now, I've seen American Psycho recently, and I've seen it numerous times, but recently I watched it again, And if I recall, he killed one hooker, one of his friends, the Paul guy. That's 3. He killed, okay, hold on a second. He killed the old lady. He killed the hobo. He killed the dog. He killed the doorman. He killed the janitor. That's 8 people. That's 8 people confirmed that I know of. So that's 8 people in that one. How many people did he kill in this one? Well, opposing to know what Henry actually did, he killed a lot more people. So I'm going to give body count to Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. And actually, I think in this film, he does kill a lot more people than American Psycho. So round 1 goes to Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Next is story / originality. Okay, which one was more original? That's obviously this one was not really original. It was based off a serial killer. So I guess I'll give this round to American Psycho, which was also off a serial killer, but it had for me it had an original feel, and it had one of those special feels to it, to where it was. I thought this was shot in the 90s. Okay, until I found out the date was 2000. I thought this was shot in the maybe late 80s to early 90s. But I was wrong, and it just had that feel to it. So, round 2, American Psycho. Round 3, blood, guts, and gore. Okay, both of these films have pretty good blood, guts, and gore, etc. But if I had to think about it, if I had to say which, I'm going to have to say American Psycho had some more blood, guts, and gore, and it was better. It was well managed, if that makes sense. So yeah, American Psycho gets round 3. Last round, and American Psycho has 2, and Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer has 1. If I decide on this movie, there'll be 2 against 2, and I'll have to go into a sudden death. But let's go ahead and do, yeah, okay. The 4th round is going to be personal enjoyment and replayability, or replayability. Replayability. For me, I love Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. I think it's a good movie, and it gives you a good look at who this guy actually was. But for me, I like American Psycho better. So American Psycho has won this battle. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, you were a worthy opponent, but I am sorry you have lost to American Psycho. American Psycho is a classic. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Christian Bale's performance I think it will shock you. It's a really good performance, especially towards the end with him and how nuts he actually goes. But like I said, once again, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer is a good movie as well. If you haven't seen it, pick it up. It's pretty good. But yeah, American Psycho has won this DVD battle. This is the Jay Sloan or Jordan. You've just watched Late Night Frights. Thank you for watching, guys. Stay tuned next week for our alien theme. And yeah, guys, I'll see you next week. This is the Jay Sloan. Thank you for watching. Please comment, subscribe to my channel, to Late Night Frights channel, to all the members and my other second leader, all random things. Comment, subscribe, guys. Peace. Keep it horror. Almost forgot my line there. Almost forgot keep it horror. How do I forget that? Keep it horror, guys. Peace.